No time to rest here for Breakfast Extra this Sunday because we have to pack in all the stories. Now it's time for another big story. Nigeria's opposition politics is once again in the spotlight as the Independent National Electoral Commission has rejected a notice of the People's Democratic Party's planned National Executive Committee meeting, citing irregularities in the signatures accompanying the submission. Now, according to INEC, the signatures attached to the notice were either invalid or failed to meet legal thresholds, rendering the planned gathering procedurally flawed. This decision, made public in a letter dated 19th of June, has triggered internal panic with the PDP ranks, especially as the party tries to find its footing ahead of the next electoral cycle. Now, this latest twist adds to a growing list of internal fractures bedeviling the PDP, already grappling with zoning disputes, defection waves, and also conflicting leadership structure. Party insiders say the rejected notice was a key step toward resolving some of these long-standing issues, and INEC's dismissal not only stalls progress but risks deepening the internal crisis. Critics argue still it also reflects poorly on the PDP's internal documentation and organizational readiness, a major concern for a party looking to rebuild trust among voters and also reclaim national relevance.
So joining us now is Arthur Ugochukwu. He's the Zonal Secretary of the PDP in Imo State. He's going to help us unpack what this means for the party, what led to the signature controversy, and how the PDP plans to manage the fallout from INEC's decision. Mr. Ugochukwu, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, let's start with clarity, shall we? What exactly was the nature of the signature irregularity, and who within the PDP bears responsibility for that procedural lapse that we saw?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Let me put this very straight from the PDP constitution. I think that will enable us. Section 36 of PDP Constitution says about the position of the National Secretary. There shall be a National Secretary who shall be the Chief Administrative and Accounting Officer of the party, whose functions shall be A. Supervise the day-to-day activities of the party, B. Conduct or direct the conduct of correspondences of the party and cause to be issued notices of meetings of the National Convention, National Executive Committee, National Caucus, and the National Working Committee. I read that again, Part B of the Section 36 of the PDP Constitution. B. Conduct or direct the conduct of the correspondence of the party, cause to be issued notices of meetings of the National Convention, National Executive Committee, the National Caucus, and the National Working Committee. This is an extract from the PDP Constitution. So this is majorly the function of the National Secretary. But as you can see, the People's Democratic Party, for the close to a year plus now, has been in the debacle of the National Secretaryship position. So INEC, as the responsible organization, as the organization that oversees the conduct of parties, INEC does not just conduct election and allow them to go. Part of the processes of conducting the free and fair election is the conduct of the party itself. So it regulates the activities of the party as well. So if you come to INEC's 2022 INEC regulations and guidelines for political parties, it requires notices of convention, congresses, and conferences of meetings. It shall be jointly signed by the national chairman and the national secretary. So INEC drew their conclusion, number one, from the let me use the word malpractice from the part of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. So they failed in their own parts in doing the right thing. And if INEC had gone ahead to accept the letter only signed by the national chairman, it means that the party has doomed itself. Because you cannot fail or in your own responsibility, fail what you're supposed to do and expect it to stand. Like I always say, you cannot build nothing or something. So going forward, there is a Supreme Court judgment about the position of National Secretaryship. INEC had gotten the judgment of that Supreme Court, which validly states that INEC remains the National Secretary of the party. That the only way to remove Senator Samuel Anyang as the National Secretary of the party is via a convention. That is to say, he continues his functions as National Secretary, he must sign or co-sign notices from the party in these particular sections that I've listed above. So the letter that was sent to INEC was only signed by the acting national chairman, Ambassador Omar Iliademago. So it would be an aberration, it would be a total flop on the part of INEC if they had accepted that letter only and acted on it. They have also failed in their duty as a regulating body. So that is why the letter signed by Ambassador Iliademago was rejected absolutely by the INEC, the regulating body of the party. So that is the true clarification of things in this area.
Arthur, thank you very much. You put it so nicely. It's very clear how you have put it. However, with all the activities that we've seen over the past 1 year from inside of the PDP and this error coming up here, you noting that IAO never actually signed this, it was only signed, it wasn't co-signed by him. What's this reflecting about the opposition here, the biggest opposition to the current administration, the PDP? Is it reflecting that there are deeper divisions or maybe even communication breakdowns inside of the party? I guess I'm asking a very obvious question here, but I'd like to get your take.
Yes, thank you. Well, it can be understood in different perspectives. Well, as you are aware, some members of the party are already, like the former candidates of our party, like the Sik Abubakar, was among the leaders that joined the new party they want to register, which I doubt if that will see the light of the day. So it's not actually a true reflection of division here, if you can say that. But what is there is that we have come to put the party in the right perspective. I was on air the other time and I said that the National Secretary of the party must be commended by all lovers of democracy. It must be commended by all lovers of it, especially youth like us, emerging leaders like us in the party. Because if Anyanwu had, at a point, succumbed to the whims and caprices of these few governors who want him out unconstitutionally, who want him out illegally, by now we would have had a one-party system that everybody was talking about, or is talking about. Yeah, he had stood to uphold the constitutionality of the party, to ensure that the right thing is done, to ensure that you don't do things that are abnormal and expect it to stand. So that being said, the party has come to a final. In fact, with this letter from INEC, it has put to rest any other agitation from any quarters. So anybody fighting now is fighting a null battle, because the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement that this man remains the National Secretary. INEC, the regulating body, has informed you that any letter not signed or co-signed by INEC will not be accepted. So you have two options. It's either you lead this, you join these boards that are going towards a journey of nowhere in the so-called coalition, or you remain in the formidable PDP that we all know and give a robust opposition to the
hang on a second, Arthur. Hang on a second, Arthur. Did you just say that? Well, that's very debatable when you use the word formidable and the PDP currently, because of everything that I noted from before that's happening inside of the PDP. And I want to ask whether, well, I think the biggest question to ask is who is left in the PDP that serves as a notable icon that could bring things to order and could restore it as the formidable opposition of the APC. Who's left?
You cannot ask who is left when you're speaking to the Zonal Secretary of the party. I'm Honorable Ugochukwu, I'm in the PDP. I am an emerging leader. So for me aside, there are millions of other persons in the PDP. If you look at the people that have left, these are old stock. They are names that we have been hearing since 1998, in fact, since 1991. So they cannot continue to occupy the space when people like us are coming up, when there are youths with strong energy, with strong conviction that we can actually fix this country by ourselves. We cannot continue to have this set of people for donkey years. So, in fact, their exit from the PDP has given room for new leaders to emerge. If you come to Nigeria today, there is no family that does not have at least 2 or 3 members as members of the People's Democratic Party, irrespective of the fact that we have been in opposition.
Mr. Ugochukwu, as of yesterday, we know that the INEC has received and sort of consolidated on a new coalition, which is the All Democratic Alliance, the ADA. And one of the persons who formed that coalition is the former vice president and the presidential candidate for 2023 for your party, and that's the former vice president Atiku Abubakar. Where does the PDP play in all of this?
Well, they have the right, it's their choice. PDP is not bothered about it. Before now, PDP has moved forward. So PDP is looking forward to building a new crop of leaders who are going to be steadfast. But it's not the first time Atiku Abubakar is leaving PDP. He left PDP in 2015. In fact, that was the reason why we lost the election. We lost the presidency because Atiku pulled out 7 governors, and out of the 7, 2 returned. He pulled out 5 governors out of PDP. So it has been all about Atiku all the while. So why I say that they are on the voyage to nowhere is, if Atiku did not get the ticket of AG rather, I don't know what they call themselves.
ADA.
If he doesn't get the presidential ticket of the party, he will AG, yeah. Because it's always about him. If not him, then he puts down the house. So those of them joining him to that voyage, I pity them. Because it's only going to be all about Atiku. If it is not him, he will sink the ship. So that's why I made that assumption. He left PDP in 2015, made us lose presidency. We compensated him in 2023 with presidential ticket, 2019, presidential ticket, compensated him in 2023 with the presidential ticket. So he has been a serial contestant, and the PDP can't continue to have serial contestants who can be serial winners.
Yeah, but with the mass
As
defections,
a party, we are not bothered.
with the mass defections that we're seeing, who is a strong candidate within your party or a strong individual in the party that can clinch the ticket? I mean, you can name a few. You don't have to name a particular individual that can clinch a presidential ticket that can run against the juggernaut that is APC.
There are people.
And they are? I would like some names, please.
So hello, I'm one of them.
I thought you were going to say that.
I mean, anyway, back to... Go ahead. Go ahead,
I said there are many people. I don't want to mention them.
Okay.
Right.
When that time comes, you will see arrays of these big.
So-
Right, well, the time is now.
Just a second.
The time is now because APC is already, the ball is already rolling.
Arthur, I want to commend you for the youth inclusivity here when you mention yourself and a host of other young people, also noting that these people have been here for too long and perhaps are not what the PDP needs. Fresh blood is great, but I'm an advocate for people actually putting their money where their mouths are. If these young people are available inside the PDP, why are we not seeing the activities, their activities now? We're close to 2027, and all we've been, we've gotten our rhetorics from the APC and people moving to the APC. It would seem that the internal divisions inside the PDP is not exactly helping the way people, public perception, and you need public perception for votes. If at this point there is no strong icon that can lead the PDP to a good opposition for the APC, don't you think we're late to the party right now as youths? And I'm talking to Arthur Ugochukwu.
Oh yeah, yes, we're not late. We're not late to the party. APC is a party, is a government in power. So they have their ways, they have their means. Like in 2023, prior to this election, we have had public perceptions. In fact, when Muhammad Buhari came, former President Muhammad Buhari, it was this kind of perception too, that everybody said, Jonathan, this, we want a general, we want this. And when Muhammad Buhari came, we didn't see a general in him. We saw insecurity went up to the high heaven. We saw our economy deplete. We saw our foreign reserves go down the drain. In fact, we saw our GDP, everything was a mess. The problem is this present APC government is a carryover from that of Muhammad Buhari's administration. So the public rhetoric and public opinions is not going to play much in 2027. 2027 is going to come up with its own uniqueness.
That's very debatable. In fact, that's maybe not, is not, because if you say it's not going to play much, then who are you going to ask to come to the ballots? It's public perception at the end of the day, and it's very necessary that even by this time, there are identifiable individuals within the party that people could place their hopes on, watch their activity, and then make a decision in 2027. But they're not there, which is once again why I ask if we, as the youth, coming from your statement, are not late to that party, because everybody else seems to be moving out the door and jumping ship to, you know, the one big ship for self-preservation reasons. My rhetoric there. I don't know, Judith, please.
Yeah, Mr. Ugochukwu.
Yeah, Yes, you know the politics is again, it's like a chess game. PDP has fought their own battle, and people are jumping ships to APC, some are jumping to nowhere. So APC own battle is coming. In fact, it has already started. So when we say that everybody going in, when you see all the people come to the room and then you bring is one thing going to the forest to kill an antelope, is another thing coming home to share and know who gets what and who doesn't get what. So APC's problem is going to start very, very soon. Yesterday, you see what happened between the Vice President Kassim Shettima and the APC National Chairman when he refused to shake his hand, he refused to shake the hands of the Deputy Senate President in public glare. So their own battle is brewing. So it's going to unfold very soon. By the time it will start, PDP must have already come out of their own problem, and we will be in the process of reconciliation and fixing ourselves back. By tomorrow, PDP is going to pick up with the activities of the party, and then we will call those other people who are great. Come back. This is the only place you can have a base. Leave the people going other way because they may fall along the line. This is the only formidable party in Nigeria as of today. So when you ask for who are the people that will run for PDP, I can assure you that there are people. Many of them.
Mr. Ugochukwu.
In fact, people are looking at this. Some of us that are party officials in states,
right.
People are making inroads, trying to get the people.
I mean, you keep using the word formidable, that phrase, the formidable party in Nigeria. And away from that, right, back to this rejection that we've gotten from the INEC, we understand that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I understand that it effectively has stalled a major reconciliation process within the PDP. And so it begs out the question about, the immediate plans that are in place to correct the error and reissue the NEC notice properly.
Yeah, well, the reconciliation in PDP, the reconciliation effort in PDP led by Dr. Abubakar Saraki did an excellent job. They did a fantastic job. And the last stakeholders meeting, the expanded stakeholders meeting, which they honestly tagged 99 NEC meeting. Some of those reports, both the one by Saraki-led administration gave was there. So another thing that Governor Pikamba, Governor Makinde, and the three other persons did, they sent their emissaries to INEC. In fact, they went to INEC by themselves to ascertain who was the true national secretary, who is the true national secretary of the party. And INEC told them before giving them this letter that INEC is the national secretary of the party. So all these are in public domain. All these are, all these are already spelled out. It's not in doubt. So that letter that was written to see if they can touch the water again to pave way for these other people who have launched their ADA now to proceed with whatever they are doing. So the party is on the right track towards rebuilding itself, towards rebranding itself into a more better opposition.
No, congratulations. The word rebranding. Congratulations. The word rebranding is actually a very apt word. However, Arthur, I wanted to know regarding the implications of the discrepancies that were noted here in this letter, whether Anyao was the secretary or not. It's indicative of the fact that there are many things that need to be sorted inside of the PDP. So do you agree with me that if these things aren't sorted out, that the party actually risks being deregistered? And that wouldn't be a very good look. But that seems to be where it's heading to. And we're talking about the PDP, not just any party. Do you agree?
The formidable party of Nigeria.
So that's part of the thing Anyao had stood for over this long battle, to ensure that the party is not destroyed by a few governors. Because we are aware that 1-2 governors are the ones that are being told, trying to force the party to do the wrong thing, or trying to force INEC to do the wrong thing. But we have come beyond that stage now. It's left for them to accept that this is what the law has said. The Supreme Court, which is the final arbiter in the land, has said this man didn't do what is the national secretary of the party. You must make sure you do that. Then the INEC has informed them. The Saraki-led committee has given their report. Every responsible organ of the party has given them this report. In fact, out of the 8 or 9 governors that were in this party before, I have come to realize that it's just a few, 1-2 of them that are still in this battle. So they are not more lawful in the country than the Supreme Court, and they are not more PDP than some of us who are still members of the party too. So they will be left with two options, like I said. As far as we are concerned, the problem in the party is resolved. Senator Samuel Anyanwu is the National Secretary of the party. He will resume in his office immediately after the Salah break, which is by tomorrow. He will be in the Wadata doing the normal activities of the National Secretary. In fact, he has been doing that even before they went on Salah break. So if anybody goes to the back to send a letter that is not appropriate, the person is just trying to throw in spanners into the water to see whether there will be some bubbles come up. But Anyanwu has been doing his function as the National Secretary of the party right from the pronouncement by the Supreme Court. So these ones are just made distractions. And I am glad, I thank God that we have come up of all these shenanigans now. And the letter from the INEC has put to rest any person, any doubting Thomas from any protest.
Mr. Ugochukwu, I have to ask.
The party is not going to be divided.
Right. I have to ask you, Mr. Anyanwu is resuming after the Salah break on Monday, as you stated. And we know that we know that the FCT minister has been going after the PDP on its headquarters, the office of their headquartered office over land charge. What's the latest on that?
Well, I don't have the latest right now, but when we resume tomorrow, you know, they were giving, it's not just the PDP, all the defaulters of the ground rents were given 14 days by Mr. President himself to apply. And we have been on break for that past 2 weeks. So when we resume tomorrow, we are going to take inventories of what has happened, and then the right thing will be done. I can be able to give you updates on that.
All right. I must say thank you so much for taking out the time, Mr. Ugochukwu, for joining us here and giving us a bit of insight following this NEC rejection of that letter. And we wait to see what Monday will look like for resumption for Anyanwu. Hopefully there won't be no snafus at the office, the headquartered office. We hope to see that everything will go well, but hey, it's Nigeria. We never can tell.
We also hope to see a very rebranded PDP.
Yeah, formidable PDP.
Formidable, yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Arthur Ugochukwu is the Zonal Secretary of the PDP in Imo State. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Arthur.